Okay, good morning traders and welcome to the Bookmap event here. This is Bruce at Bookmap. Looks like there's still a countdown here on okay, there we go. Never mind. We're all set to go. A countdown here. Okay. All right. YouTube is up and all right, so it's been a while and good to be back. And we had the Pro Trader webinar series a few weeks ago, and then I was away for a few weeks. And we have competition and a lot of other events coming up. Yeah, I've been kind of busy here. Anyway, we'll go through live markets. That's what this webinar is for. It's for all markets, futures, stocks, and crypto. And we provide a base on understanding market structure, order flow, market mechanics for all markets. It's not hindsight, it is forward-looking analysis so that we can understand how to optimize our trading activity. There's disclosures here, general disclosure. All Bookmap Limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Risk disclosure: trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, so let's jump in here. We're looking at the S&P E-mini. And if you guys have any specific markets that you want to look at, let me know and we can pop them in here. I have NASDAQ, NVIDIA, Apple, Tesla, crude, and Bitcoin for the competition here. I'll mention that actually now. Alois, thank you, and Kevin, nice to be back. Let's see here. Good morning, Rob. And trader or Alois. Okay, so let's just take a quick look here at the order flow and then we'll get into this competition. Yeah, it looks like in a short term might get a little bump up here on this S&P, maybe into the top of the range here. But just by looking at the order book and the market here, that we traded down into high liquidity here. And then you see the buyers come in here at 10 o'clock and we're back kind of at the top of this range here. Now let's see if we can get our buyers right now, and we're just looking for, you know, just a few points move up into this kind of from, like, I don't know, 34 on up until about 38, maybe something like that, just based on what we see here. But let's see if these sellers in here might get trapped if we can get buyers back up around 34. So I'd be looking for that. I see support here at 45.30 or so in the order book. So let's see if we can get that. Now we would be looking, let's just go through a setup in here, what we'd be looking for. Okay, we'd be looking for up here. This is where we want to see our green dots. Okay, we want to see buyers come in here. What we would also like to see in big green dots up here. All right. What we'd also like to see up here in these areas is, see this liquidity here at 35. Well, it's resistance, basically. It's supply. I would like to see it pull from the market. See this liquidity down here in the order book at 30. I would like to see them actually pull and then maybe add up higher. Right? Then we have an order book imbalance, and we also have volume on our side. Okay, we already know that the move here is on our side to the upside. So what we're looking for here is a continuation now. So it's starting to unfold now. Let's see if we get that liquidity underneath. There we go. Are they pulling here? Yeah, they are. So we're looking for this move up into, you know, somewhere around here, and that's it. And that's just a very quick order flow read. Right now, based on this very small time frame that we're looking at. All right, so it's not a trade recommendation. It's just understanding the market mechanics in here that will allow you to look for something that is maybe higher probability. All right, so yeah, it's starting to unfold here. We got another rotation in here again, but that's what we're looking for, right? We'll go through the opposite scenario here, which actually seems to be unfolding. The opposite scenario is that this fails up here and we get our big red dots down here. Okay, now right now they're trading into this 30 level here, just a bit through it. Okay, we should see some nice stops through that area. Right, and let's see if we can get those buyers to come back in now and reach back up into back up into the range basically. If they cannot, then we're looking for the continuation into this 25 level down here. Right, so anyway, we can see that there was some data here at 10 a.m. And that was why we see the it was the University of Michigan consumer sentiment, and they pulled liquidity around that area in here, right? So, and we see the move is to the upside. So that's what we're leaning against. Now, this one didn't work out, right? We were looking for this scenario here, and in fact, it actually turned into kind of a trap up here. And we'll see though if we can come back up and revisit this, and then maybe get a breakout as well. Quite a bit of selling did come in and back down to where that data was released here at 10 a.m. Okay. Just see if we can hit this 25 level actually. 28 to 25. All right, we're looking for the same types of things here. Exhaustion up here, so no buying. Instead, we want to see selling. Maybe this liquidity pulls and adds lower, and then we're looking for the red dots to come in. Here we go. Let's see if we can get them here. There's our order book and balance. No. Just looking for a quick order flow read before we move on to other things here. All right, so we traded into the 30 liquidity here, did not get through it. We see more sellers starting to come in. We see sellers here at 28. It has to be at 28. Then we're looking for a big red dot at 28, the follow through down into 25. No, that's not it yet. See that liquidity come in at 28. Sorry guys, I got kind of caught up in this order flow read here before being on. A little bit of volatility in here, order flow on the other side. There we go, on the other side. Okay, let's see if these sellers should be able to hit into 25 here now. And let's see if what else is below 25 here. Okay, well, it would be 20 basically. Next move would be down to 20. There we go. There's 25, has just hit. All right, and we'll come back down and we'll come back and revisit this. So we want to take a look at the bigger picture here before we start trading order flow back and forth. Yeah, we see a bit more selling here, but anyway, we'll come back into it and see if there's any questions that we have immediately here. Hi, Deborah, welcome, or thank you for the welcome back. And let's take a look here at bigger picture. All right, so here's our daily over here on the left side, hourly in the middle, and 15-minute on the right. You can see the gap here this morning and the move down, and this is the kind of double bottom test here right at that 25 level right now. And let's see if we can fill the gap here. Okay, it's already in the gap, but we see pretty nice momentum here to the downside. Okay, so on this bigger picture, the move that we're looking for is continuation to the downside, maybe into that 20 level, which you can see the gap fill would be around here at 19.5. Okay, so that's what we'd be looking for on the bigger picture in 15-minute chart. The daily and hourly a little more convoluted. Let's just take a look at this daily here and look at a little less bars. All right, you can see the daily here. It was the gap up and then a fail and then the move back in. So that's what we're seeing here, right? So for this failure, we'd be looking for that move again to this 20 level. And then on the hourly, looks even better, not only for the move to 20 down here, but you can see another gap in here, like an island gap. So you can see a lot of buying in the wicks here on the hourly down in this area here. So that would be the next level after that, which would be about 45.08 or something like that. Okay, and then the full gap fill would be way down here at like 65 or so, but 91 or so around here would be the top of that gap here. All right, so anyway, that's the read here, and basically all time frames we're looking for the continuation into this lower levels here, 20 and maybe the figure down here at 4,500 as well as even lower. Right, so that's what we're seeing so far. Okay, so 25 we're already through 25. We're almost at 20 here, and yeah, that would be another area here to look for a reaction. So you know, maybe some take profit down here, and then look for maybe a pullback, and then you could re-enter on something like that as well. It's not a trade recommendation. Again, it's just trade management scenarios here, and some ideas on how you might want to tackle that. All right, let's see here. What else do we have going in here? A lot of icebergs just came in, as you can see in here with the blue line, and we have our CVD and our stops in here as well. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of the CVD for now, and that was a nice little stop run through this area here as well. Okay, so you can see we've pulled back here to 25, and it is on low volume though, quite low volume. So now we're looking again for maybe some exhaustion here in this order book skew yet again, and then we'd be looking for those sellers to come in again and then reach them down into these lower levels. All right, that would be our low volume pullback. All right, so this is what I mean by that when we take a look at this kind of pattern in here. See the volume in here? Okay, quite a bit of selling. Okay, we're actually back up above it, which is not a good sign. And there could be a short squeeze here, but basically all of this buy volume in here is here, right? So we know that there's more selling than there is buying. Okay, so that's what we're looking for, is continuation with sellers here, right? And right now, so we got our pullback here. Okay, and now we're looking for our sellers again in these areas here, around 24.5 or so. Okay, for that continuation move. All right, any questions on this? Okay, we're not getting it right now. In fact, they're pulling up here. Right, so that's not a good sign, and we're also above all of this selling. And when that happens, we can get a short squeeze here. So if the bias on all these time frames is to the short side, okay, and filling that gap in here, I guess it almost came in and filled it. But if that's the direction we are looking for, then what we're looking for here is selling down here around 24.5. Okay, so this, we would miss this squeeze to the upside here, and you don't have to miss it. You could trade it as well based on other criteria, but we're going with a bias in here. Okay? And if we see something different and our bias starts to change, then we'll go over that. Yeah, the short squeeze is actually set up pretty nicely. See this acceptance, and it's not a whole lot of volume up here, but it is trading up here. Okay, this is where we're looking for our sellers even here, and it's even possible in here to look for at this area here, so at around 26. See the exhaustion here? Okay, so they're at 27. By buyers. Now we're looking for sellers at the bottom of this range around 25.5. More exhaustion. All right, so now we're looking for our sellers here. See if we can get them. We're also looking for that order book to help us here. Okay, we're getting a little bit of help there. There we go. Now, sellers, our first step is, our move is down to this swing here around 24.5. Okay, liquidity's down here at our 22 level. Not yet. All right, sellers, you got these guys on the hook. Let's see if we can hit it and hit down into somewhere around here. Our S&P rotational market here, again and again and again. Okay, hitting 28. All right, that's not what we're looking for. Unless we can get the sellers back down below it here. It's a good level up here, actually. All right. Anyway, let's see if we can get again more sellers in. We still know that there's more selling than there is buying, even from this point on here. Okay, 29 just transacted. Okay, there's some exhaustion there. Now, again, now we're starting to see some buying interest. So, it started to pick up right around in here. This is where we look again for we'd look for maybe sellers to trade it down to here and then maybe through that area to get that gap fill. So guys, I'm a little rusty coming back in here from. I didn't recognize the size of these icebergs in here. That is quite a bit of iceberg buying. Okay, and then the confluence here with some of the buying in not so much this area here, but this area in here is where it started to pick up. Okay, but anyway, our scenario here is starting to unfold here. Let's see if these icebergs, if they buy again or not. But we're down here. We're looking for the sellers here. Back down into 25, and then looks like 22. Got to get through this 24.5 as well. Okay, so we're down below the level here. That's good. We need to see the selling though commit. Here we go. Okay, now this got to go through 25. Liquidity here, support here, and it's been bounced. It bounced off of that. Maybe we should start with let me we're going to take a step back. We'll come back and revisit this in just a second. Oh, we might get our move here actually, because we're below these buyers here. So now again, we're looking for those big red dots down here, and for them to pull it down below 25, back down into the lows. It's got to be pretty significant selling that we're looking for here. They got to trade into and through these guys here at 25. And here we go. Let's see what we get here. There we go, into 25. All right. And let's see if we can get our continuation now to 22. Thanks, Kay. Yeah. I was away for a while there. I mean, we had the Pro Trader webinars for we had many of them. It was like a week and a half of Pro Trader webinars, and then I was away. So it's been like 3 weeks or more. God, almost a month. And that said, I don't know if you guys saw the competition. So I want to cover this. This is really great thing. It's free, and you should take advantage of it. All right. So I'm going to put the link here into the chat for you, and then I can also cover any questions that you guys have on this here. And give you resources as well to go and take a look at. Deborah, for example, you should really jump into this competition and take advantage of it. Others as well. I mean, really test and hone strategies in here. We'll have an event on Tuesday during this hour here, during the this webinar. I'm going to go through Q&A and how to connect and everything. And then we're also going to have on Wednesday, maybe in the morning, or I'm not sure yet, going over some trading strategies and Q&A again, right? We'll go over trading strategies as well on Tuesday. So we'll have 2 events for this trading competition. We've done these in the past. This one's a little different though. Some really nice prizes in here. Let me show you. So you get Global Lifetime Plus if you win, plus $2,000 cash prize. You also, second place will get Global Plus subscription lifetime, and third place will get Global Plus subscription for 1 year. All right, and take advantage of these. This is don't. I would suggest, like, yeah, I mean, you can, whatever it is, it's 2 days. So remember, that is your time frame, right? It's Wednesday starting at 12 midnight UTC, okay? And then it will end 12 midnight Friday UTC. Right, so you can see all the details in here. Here it is here, and that is Friday, right? Yeah. Okay. It'll be with Bitcoin only, and you'll get $100,000 in the demo account. Okay, and you can place market limit and stops. Okay, there will be a trading dashboard here. It's down below here. It hasn't begun, so you don't see it, but there's a leaderboard here. Okay, and then yeah, this is about determining the winners. Winner here. So anyway, the I can show you this here. It's here's the instrument. Okay. And this is Bitcoin, and you will basically need to download and install a few different things in here. And I'll just briefly show it to you. What you'll need to download and install is the under connections here, the trading simulator, and then you will be connecting to Bookmap data. Okay, this is our data, Bookmap data. You have to establish a connection to that, and then you will have to go into the settings here and manage plugins. Okay, and then level 0 connect Bookmap Connect here. You'll scroll down and you'll probably see that maybe the trading simulator down here. Okay, and you'll need to install that, and then you can see once it's installed, it's here. Right, that is your trading account in Bookmap. All right, so it looks like it wants to break down right now into this 26,300. Okay, so let's take a look at our S&P. It should be breaking down as well, and it is. Okay. All right, this is the move we were looking for. Still looking for continuation here in this move, and not just 22, but 20, and reevaluated at 20. Deborah, there's some other things I wanted to, we've got some new materials coming out soon, and trading strategies. Okay, and it's just an outline, but this is clearly it's for everybody, but is understanding how to look for in your order flow setups in here. You know, we were looking at some quick little setups here this morning, right? But you know how to look for even it works on all time frames, but you know, we're looking for high probability trades, higher probability. How can we do that? How can we get this on our side? This is the question, right? Once we have a higher probability setup, okay, that is studied, right? You will need to do the back testing and you will need to do the studying. Once you have that, though, you can lean on it. It's like think about this, like the only analogy that comes to mind right now is an athletic team, a football team, whatever it is, that you have some star players on your team. Okay, you have some solid players on your team. The trade setup would be the same thing, basically, right? You would be looking for some support in here, some confluences. Now, we talked about this so many times in the past. We're not just looking for one thing in here, right? We're looking for a host of things. Even earlier this morning, well, we're looking for a order book and balance. Then we're looking for the buyers to come in, and then we're looking for the market structure in here for it to break, right? And we were looking for it in here to break earlier because we were leaning on this in here, right? This here as well. Okay, look at this buy volume here, right? That's what we're leaning on. Now we went below it, but we came right back up above it, and we saw the buyers come in here. Okay, and then that's why we're looking for this here. Now it didn't work, right? But then we pivoted and we looked at it and said, okay, well, if we get through that on the opposite scenario, now we're looking for 25. And we're looking for gap fill. We finally looked at the bigger picture. That is another very important element to lean on, is your bigger picture, right? And then we're looking for other levels of liquidity to transact. Okay, so for example, right now, like you can see that the move came back down into this 22 level here. Okay, and it started to transact, but not much. Look, 22, we have 186 contracts, only 6 transacted. Okay, so the market mechanics here, this is what I mean by leaning on something. Okay, bigger picture, we're looking for it to trade down to 20. On the smaller time frame in here, though, it cannot trade into here, this high liquidity, and we're not seeing sellers. Only 6. Okay. So this is acting as support. Okay, it is a demand in the market. Okay, supply and demand. Now, if we do get buyers that come in here, okay, and this kind of starts to repel sellers, they dry up, they exhaust, and we get buyers in here, in these areas in here, okay, we would be leaning on this liquidity, and we'd be looking for it to test up in here, the bottom of the range. Now I know this is hindsight, but you can see where the sellers came in and broke the range here. This is what I mean. It's this range here, and then we're talking about this range here. So it tested it. Okay, now let's take a look at the top of the range here. Now we're talking more microstructural stuff in here. Okay, so I don't see a whole lot of buyers up here. Okay, here they are right here, 11. No, we want to see a lot more than that. Now, if we can get back up here and we start to see those buyers starting to look better, okay, exhausted here, there we go. All right, so now can we come up into the top of this range here, 25? There we go, right? So now I know it went up in, boy, I didn't know it went up into 27, but I know it went up. Doesn't matter. Like, what we want to achieve here is to put as many elements and confluences here on our side. Okay, right now, let's just read what we have here, and we're just going to read that. We're gonna look backwards. We're on the train, on the seat that's looking backwards here. Well, there's buyers up here, liquidity's up here. Now we're talking about this smaller time frame. Okay, buyers again. Okay, well, now can they break the structure? They already are. Can they continue? Do we get support here or demand? And do we continue to see buyers here? No, not yet. But the liquidity's up here at this 29 and a quarter. Okay, so we didn't get that. Okay, so we're not going to lean on it. All right, so now you can see we have bounced off the top of this structure here, and we're starting to find some buyers. So now we can go through a couple scenarios here. Now we've got something to look at here. Okay, up here, be looking for our buyers or a lack of buying, rejection, and sellers. Okay, now here we have something more, liquidity. Okay, how does the market react to that? Well, they pulled now. Okay, now can we get sellers here? Around 26. Not yet. There's some exhaustion up here. There's some support. Okay, but sellers, they're interested in that. All right, now they pulled. Okay, so let's see. Now we're looking for more sellers here. And if we get them, they should be able to trade down to here. Okay, and what this also means here, let's just take a look and understand what else are we kind of leaning on here. Now it's tricky down here because you'd be selling at the bottom of the range, right? And that's tricky. And there's always risk in your trade. But what we're looking for in here is see the buying here and the buying in here. Okay, relates to that. If we can get down below that and see sellers, these guys will have to cover. And that's the scenario we're looking for. So we're looking for sellers here. Here they come. Now we're looking for the continuation now. Okay, it's broken the range and we're looking for continuation. 24 is transacted. We're looking still for continuation. All right, now we should see, now we just outlined this buying up here. I got to get rid of this one now, but that was for the bars down below. Okay. We're looking for them to be, we're assuming or anticipating a stop run. Okay, and we did get that. Okay, now it's not a really big one, but we do see some stops here. And now we can look at another thing in here. Okay, so here we have our sellers coming in. We've already got a pullback here. Okay, look at the volume again. All right, now we don't have the order book on our side here. This is only a volume play in here right now. Okay, and the volume it's not giving us a really clear story. Look at the bars and look at the dots, size and color here. Okay, so what we want to see here, we go through a few different scenarios. So it's a low volume pullback at this point. And it's not much of a low volume pullback either. We can determine that actually with the imbalance indicators or CVD and put this within our chart range here. Okay, hold on. Here we go. Okay, within our chart range in here, what's our volume imbalance? Well, it's -8 here. Okay, this is one way to use this tool here with the global plus. Another way you can look at your CVD as well. Okay, for low volume pullbacks. Okay, so here it is here very clearly, right? Sellers, buyers come in and it's muted, right? So we're looking for continuation still. Okay, so low volume pullback. Now we're looking for our sellers here and we're looking for the hit into 22 and 20. Okay, that we were looking for earlier. Okay, does that make sense now? Okay, Deborah, I'm you're welcome, Deborah. I kind of using you a little bit as a guinea pig, but like this is what we want to do in our setups. Okay, when we start to put these pieces together, now we have something. And when we have something, we want to go back and study it again and again and again. Okay, it's like building that team of players, and you want them on your side. Okay, and then it comes down to trade management. Okay, you're looking for your higher probability setup. Right now, we can do this with anything. It can be a flag pattern. It could be a candlestick pattern. It could be volume profile. It does not matter. All right. There's other ways of looking at the market using those trading methodologies that are well known and have been documented and written in books for decades. The funny thing is that what's behind all of that is this. It's all about this. It's all about what is that order flow within that candlestick pattern. What is the order flow and transactions within that volume profile? Okay, and that's where you're going to get something higher probability. Deborah, I encourage you, I almost implore you to go back and go through this process. Maybe just watch the recording, 45 minutes into this webinar, and study that. Okay, go through this process. Okay, because right now it's traded down here to 22. Okay, so now the question is, like, how do you want to manage your trade here? Well, do you want to take some off here? Well, that would look like a pretty good decision at the moment, right? But if you studied this and you kind of knew on a bigger picture here, maybe you're looking for a bigger move. Maybe you're looking for taking on a little more risk with your stop losses. Okay, and if that is the case, maybe you'd also want to reduce your size. Okay, trade micros. So anyway, this is a great way to start to look at how to build your plan here. Okay. Now, one thing, like I said, it's kind of like riding that train in the seat that sits looking backwards, because you don't know what's going to happen in the future here. Now, the order book actually can be very helpful. The order flow and the order book can be very helpful in giving some insight of what is happening in the current market that can lead to what might happen in the near future. Okay, that's why we look at the order book. That's why we look at the order book and balances. And it makes total sense, because the market needs orders to transact. And what is the condition of that auction? Right? And that's why it's very simple. That's why order flow is an edge. All right, so if you took some off here, well, now maybe you're kicking yourself, right? Because originally we're looking for 20. That's the move here. But how do you want to manage it? On what time frame? What is your risk parameters? What was your risk to reward in here? All of these things are really, really important to understand and put into your trading plan. Okay, we'll go through the process again. Did I put this link in here? Hold on a minute here. It's competition. Yeah, I really encourage you guys, like, we're going to go through it, like I said, on maybe we'll go through it on Monday and Tuesday in the webinar, but we will certainly go through it on Tuesday. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. All right, so there's the link, and then we put it in Discord here. Oh yeah. Alois, we plan to do this also for, there we go. There's our move into 20. Okay. My plan would say I take some off there. Okay. And that's that. I look for the next setup. All right. Uh-oh, let's see, did this work here? Did I put this in? No, it works. Okay, Discord, it does not show that. It works. All right. Yeah, so anyway, we yeah, we will have it for futures. Okay, we'll have it for stocks, futures, and crypto. I mean, this is opening up a whole new window for us, right? So it's going to start here with crypto, and guys, jump in. All right, so all right, let's go through we'll go through the process again here on more kind of micro structure here. Now, and I don't know if I actually want to do that. I mean, our macro structure here has already played out. This is what we're looking for. Okay, this was our bigger move here. Was the gap fill. Okay, and that has already occurred here. Now we know that a lot of traders trade gap fills. Okay, so what would you anticipate down here? Okay, once this fills, okay, we have nice momentum. We have a gap here in the morning and nice momentum to the downside. So that's why, you know, like we said, we're looking for this to unfold. And we got a little back and forth in here today, but then, and that's to be expected. It's just as long as we can, you know, read it correctly and manage it correctly. Now it's filled the gap, right? So what would you anticipate down here? Sela, yeah, I'll cover this. This is great. I'm really happy you asked this question. Where do you find the simulator plugin? Okay, so in anonymous, I'll get to your questions here as well. Sorry about that. I got kind of caught up in the analysis here. So for the plugin, this is where you'll go. First, you'll need to download the latest version of Bookmap. All right. So now, if you go to let's just go here. We'll go to Bookmap. I'll put we'll have a link here. Okay, here we go. It's on the home page now. All right, they just updated this here, and you can just join right off the home page now. Okay, so bookmap.com, and then jump right in here. Okay, first step would be that you need to register. Okay, so register, and then you'll need to log in. Okay, so once you log in, sign up here. If you have Bookmap already, just log in. If you haven't, then you'll have to, register here. Anyway, you need to register for the competition. Okay, then you'll need to download and install the Bookmap latest production version, and I can provide that here for you. Okay, it is bookmap.com/current/production. You can also get it by just logging into bookmap.com and going through the portal. Okay, so this is the link though, and if it should download it here. Let's see. You have to put English in here. Yeah, that's right. I do. Okay. That should do it, I believe. It did for me yesterday. Hold on just a minute here. Guys, nice move. Continuation here. I wasn't looking for it just because of the gap fill, and I was looking for some profit taking. That was my answer to this. I know there's going to be some profit taking, and there was some here. But look how the sellers came right back in and moved this. Okay, so it's too bad we kind of missed this because now it's going over our bigger scenarios that we were looking for here on the hourly. The hourly was looking good for probably somewhere around this 91 area. Or no, I'm sorry, what do we say? 08 or so, and then 4,500 here, somewhere around in here, and then the gap fill is 91. Okay, on the higher time frame. All right, so anyway, we're getting our continuation here. Now, this is a strong, strong move here, right? So, and it just unfolded another strong move to the downside, looking for maybe a bit of a pullback here, then continuation down into maybe our, well, we said 08 is probably more like 07, 06, something like that. All right, so we're going to get some back and forth probably for the moment, but we'll come back in just a minute and take a look at this here. Okay, so just want to go to the portal. Now, hold on just a second here, because is this important step here. You need to download and install the latest Bookmap version. Okay, here it is. Never mind, I got it. Okay, so once you log into the portal here, I haven't logged in yet, but you don't even need to. Here, I'll show you where you can go and get this here. So go to bookmap.com and just right up here, just click on login. Okay, and that'll take you to this page here. Download for Windows, download for Mac. That's it. All right, so anyway, once you have that latest version of Bookmap, then you can come up here and go to settings and go to your plugins manager or manage plugins here. Okay, and then it's Bookmap Connect level 0 here. These are all your connection adapters here, and then you should see it down here most likely, and click on install. All right, so sorry about that long-winded way to get there, Sella, but do you see it in there? Okay, click on install, and once you install it, you'll see it here. You will need to have that new version of Bookmap, though. That's why I wanted to go through it. Okay, you're all set. Okay, great. Okay, now, did you register, Sella? If you did, the next step here, well, you don't even need to connect to connect to the simulator. You will need to register. However, to connect to a Bookmap data here, you will not. You'll just need to go again to the manage plugins, or there's another way to get to it. You can go through configure here, add and remove a platform here. That'll take you to the same link here to your manage your plugins here. And your level 0 here. Okay, the next one you need to install is Bookmap data. Okay, just scroll down a little bit. You might have already installed it, and maybe you don't know. Okay, but you'll need to install maybe this new adapter version 0.4. Okay, Bookmap data. If you don't see it here, you will see it down below here under available for installation. Okay, install it. Once you've installed these plugins, you will need to come back up and then connect to them. Okay, you will connect to them by putting a check in the box here. Once you've done that, click on the plus tab here, and you'll go to Bookmap data, Competition is is the type here. Okay, not futures, not perp, not spot. Okay, you want to look at competition, multi-book, and BTC USDT. Okay, tether. Now this is kind of a tricky one in here for your settings in the advanced options. Just use 1 hour of local backfill data for now. The other one though is tick size. Okay, this is going to be tricky here. I would recommend, if you have a strong machine, then go with 1. If you do not, first try it anyway. If it doesn't work, you're going to have to go with 10. Okay, so there's a lot of data. It's a, what is it? It's $2,500 or $2,600 instrument in here. Okay, so there's a lot of ticks in here. So that's why the tick size really matters in here, because the more tick size, the more data, and that might bog down a slower machine. Okay, so that's how you do it. Once you've done that, you should be able to open up your trade control panel and start to trade. Oh, you need to go into here. Let's see. You'll need to go into well, open up your trade control panel. Okay, turn it on. But if you want to trade from a chart, DOM, or both, I always select both. And then you'll need to add in the this here. Okay, it is the cross trading instruments. Okay, you'll see this in here by going to add or remove panel. Okay, add panel. I have nothing here because I've added all the panels. You'll see it here, then you'll see it in the drop down and select the cross trading instruments. Once you've done that, then select BTC USD as the competition here on the drop down, and then you'll hit start. Okay, so what this does, just so you guys know, is that this will set you up very nicely. You'll be looking at Bookmap data, and you'll be trading into your simulator account. That's what this does here with the cross trading. Right, so you'll be looking at the Bookmap data, but then the orders will be routed to your Bookmap demo account, the trading simulator. That's how it works. Right, just trying to help clarify the idea here. Right, so that's that. We'll go over more of this again, like I said. So we'll come back to this S&P and see what's happening here. All right, so we're down at 10 now, and I would have been out here at 20. I'd like to say that I would see this momentum again, and I'd look for a continuation down into 15. That would be my next target. And then I don't know, this is a little tricky in here. I see the buying here. Once we see this, though, this isn't bad, that we see this high liquidity in here, right here. Sellers hit into it, but we're seeing more sellers below it still. Okay, we look for the next levels of liquidity. Right, so now we've traded into that. I think we're kind of due here for a bit of a bounce here. Let's see if we can get that. Okay, so hold on a minute here. We'll take a look at the market structure for that bounce here, and we're not getting it. Okay, we're back down into our 08 level though, right? So let's we'll cover this here. Our 08 level, these wicks in here on the hourly, that's what we're looking for, right? Here it is on the 15-minute chart. In fact, let's add a little more bars in here. Okay, so somewhere in here, now we're starting to look for a bounce in here, potential buyers coming in. Okay, we've got high liquidity getting filled on the bid here. Okay, so now starting to get kind of interesting here. Okay, we see the sellers and some buyers, just some, and they didn't break the structure. They are bidding up higher though at 8.5 here. Right, so it's starting to look interesting here. That's it though. So let me take a moment, then I'll come back in and answer anonymous trader here. You've been told that CME market orders are not supported. Who are the aggressors? Well, the aggressors, when we talk about aggressors in here, we're talking about the market buy and market sell orders. Okay, so no, there are market buy orders. I mean, I don't know if I'm ready to jump into a deeper conversation about this with you, anonymous trader, but sometimes the limit orders can act as aggressors. Okay, if you have massive amount of orders and you place it on, like, let's suppose you know you can place a mark or a limit buy on the best offer. Okay, so let's suppose that you place a limit buy on the best offer for 1,000 contracts. It will act like an aggressor. Okay, it basically is, it, you know, whatever it, liquidity it is available, it takes. Okay, whatever is available. So it just starts taking it and taking it and taking it. That's the aggressor behavior. Okay, so in that case, a limit actually works like a market order. So anyway, like I said, it's a deeper conversation here that maybe you're talking about. But a market buy would be, you know, it crosses the spread here, and we'll just take a look at it here. Okay, so a limit provides liquidity at a price level, and you're looking for to trade only at that price level. It is liquidity in the market. You're part of the auction process at that point. The market buy is the green dot that is taking liquidity off of the best offer. If it takes enough here, then it will move to the next tick, the next price level. If there is liquidity there. If there's no liquidity there, it will go to wherever there is liquidity. Okay, if you hit the market buy button down here at this 45.10, but there was a big gap and no liquidity in here whatsoever until like 11.5 up here, or 11.25, then that's where you would get filled. Right? So anyway, the aggressor here is what's moving the market. Now, if I put in my 1,000 lot in here for to act as an aggressor, it will only trade at this level though, at 10 or better. All right, so anyway, yeah, I would kind of like to avoid the details in this webinar, but it's a great question, and not sure exactly what the CME has told you. Anyway, you pay up when you hit market buy or sell because you cross the spread. Let's see, I'm just catching up here. Yeah, I know what you mean, anonymous trader, but anyway, yeah, I would, like I said, I would like to avoid the bigger conversation at this time. We can go through it another time, but I know exactly what you mean. That it's all limit orders. Okay. Yeah, especially when we start getting into the microstructure, and I mean the real microstructure, not like, you know, seconds. We're talking sub-seconds. Okay, this is not micro. Traditionally, this is not microstructure we're looking at here. We're looking at 10 seconds of data. That's like 1,000 years in the HFT you know, environment. Okay, when we start to look at, you know, stuff like this in here, you know, really zoom in, now we're looking at microseconds, millions of seconds, millions or billions, I think, billions or million, I don't know, whatever it is here for the nanosecond resolution. Okay, and we can go down to those resolutions as well. Okay, and get very, very granular. right, and truly understand what's happening in here in the markets. Now that's at a different level. Okay? So, but that's our background. We came from this HFT environment. That's how Bookmap came to be. We needed to see how we were getting filled with our algos, and this was just developed for ourselves originally, and then others liked it, so we decided to make it into a platform. Will they show up on the BBO? They should. Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I don't have the size to be able to test that. So, I mean, I can do it in demo, but it does, that, of course, is not going to show up in the limit order book. But, you know, I don't have 100 contracts to trade per position. But hey, maybe soon. Yeah, I mean, limit order should just show up. If you're providing liquidity and it's a limit order, should show up in the order book. That's that. CME is about as transparent as you can get. Okay, these are really, really good markets. Okay, stocks is much more complex and not quite as accurate, in my opinion. It is less centralized, but it is still very good. Crypto is also pretty centralized. It's per exchange, though. That's why you're going to see different exchanges with different prices. And then Forex is the worst. There is no order book. It is through various banks over the counter. Well, I mean, if I place a limit buy in the best offer, I get filled immediately. That's the beauty of it. That's why people use it. Because you'll get filled. I mean, typically you will get filled immediately unless the market just kind of runs away from you very quickly. Okay, because anything that is there, you will get filled. It's actually it's you know, so that's a great way to go, is to you know, maybe save yourself a tick if you can. It can be frustrating sometimes. Anyway, guys, let's get back into the analysis here. We're looking for our bounce somewhere around this 8 level, and we're starting to get something here. It's back up to about 14, and what it was we were looking for, well, it was higher time frame based. Okay, the wicks in this area here, and some buyers to start to come in. I was looking for a bit more buying off of the gap fill here. We didn't get much out of that. Boy, we got the continuation here. Now, you know, another thing to take a look at in here, and this is something that Scott goes through quite a bit, also JTrader somewhat, is ATR, okay, average true ranges. Okay, and now in this case, we'd be looking for time frames. It might be the day, it might be an hour, it might be 15 minutes, might be 5. But start to look at that. You know, how much of a move are you expecting here? This is a strong move here. Okay, it gapped and it went. Right. So how much more does it have in it? How much? The question is in the auction here is about market breadth. How much more selling can the market handle? Now, if there's some big, you know, geopolitical event or some sort of market event that, you know, will have this sell-off unfold, then you know, that's something a little different here. But if under regular kind of market conditions, how much breadth does the market have? Okay, that's why a lot of traders look at their tick charts, their market internals, the ticky, you know, your advancer decliners. These can be really good, all right, if you want to integrate that into your trading plan as well. How much more buying or selling can the market handle, okay, in the regular environment? And this is why your ATR works. Okay, for all of these moves, we can look at measured moves in here, okay, very easily, and this is why they work, right? So here we have a measured move, boom. All right, well, let's just double that, okay, and what we have here is another measured move, basically. A beautiful little kind of flag pattern in here, basically. All right, so now it doesn't always work like that, or if you want to measure it from here, it'd be a little bit less, right? But there's something to it. Okay, how many buyers are interested? This is why low volume pullback, another thing. This is what we're looking at in here. Like, you know, what is the, how much buying comes back in, and you know, what kind of move might that buying have? Well, it's not bad here. I should look at the size of the bars and the dots. Not so bad. Well, it's not so bad of a move either. It came back up and retraced this movement all the way to the top here. And now we can see some back and forth in here. Okay, the seller is starting to come back in. And actually, it looks to me like the selling in here is a low volume pullback. Okay, so then this area here, well, maybe we're looking for buyers off of that area. Okay, and then we'd be looking for the buyers to come back up and maybe reach up into this level, up in here around 13.5, 14. What I was referring to as, like, you know, when you really start testing these, anonymous trader, it is excellent to test these with really big size, and you'll see how the market behaves. So 100 lot in the S&P will be absorbed so quickly that you know, you can get filled with it. It's amazing without really moving the market. You can hit market buy and you can get filled with it. So you'd have to be talking about like 1,000 contracts at that point. And we're talking like, you know, that's a lot of money. so I don't have that kind of account size. Okay, we're retail traders. This is what I was referring to. It can be tested in other environments, but not in a live market like that. All right, so now we're gonna go back into what we were just talking about in here. Okay, in this low volume pullback potentially, and is it a low volume pullback? Well, we kind of determined it really isn't here. This buying is not low volume. Okay, and this is our higher time frame level here too. Okay, so what we have here is we have a move into high liquidity on the way down here, getting filled, and then we also have buyers starting to come back in on volume, and then now we can start to lean on that a little bit. This is what I was talking about earlier in referring to you, Deborah, about what to look for and what to lean on. Kind of get your star players on your team here working for you. All right, so we have that. You know, obviously sellers are in control of the move here, clearly. Okay, from here to here. All right, but what do we have as well for the buy side here? And then how much of a move are we looking for from the buy side? Right, so we have a higher time frame level. That's one. That's a, you know, something good to have on our side. Number two, we have high liquidity getting filled on the way down here, and we know that. You can see it in here. And this is where Bookmap really shines. Okay, now what else do we have? We have these buyers starting to come in. This is not a low volume pullback here. It's on higher volume. Okay, so then we identified the top of this range as a potential place to maybe consider buying and see if we get support in here in the order book. Well, the support you can see came in here around 10, okay, and then 9 3/4. All right, so now we have that on our side. Okay, so now what are we looking for here? We can go through another scenario. What about this smaller move? Well, I see buyers here. All right, so if I get a buyer up here, like big buyers up in here, I'm looking for the breakout up in of this small range up into 14. Okay? And that's it though. That's all I'm looking for in this move for now. Okay, now we have the buyers up here, but do we have the order book? Look how dark it is in here. Okay, so it's only aggressors in here. Now here's some exhaustion on the sell side, and we get more buyers here. All right, I'm still looking for buyers to take this higher, into 14. All right, now again, this is something I was just talking about here earlier. Was we're sitting on the train looking backwards. Okay, we don't know what's going to happen in here. Now we got some buying up here, but we see the sellers came back in. Okay? This is why we're looking for all the pieces basically. And one thing here, and this is the way that we can protect ourselves in here with going through this process, is because we don't know what's going to happen, right? There could be a really big buyer that comes in here and just moves it very, very quickly, or it could be the opposite, a really big seller. Okay, we see it happen all the time, right? We have to protect ourselves against that because we don't know what's going to happen over here. We're just aligning ourselves with all of this other action in here and then looking for these order flow moves to give us insight. Okay, so now here we're back up again. Okay, well, we haven't come back up here yet, but I do see buying coming in. Okay, now it traded in this liquidity here and not too much above it though. Right, so we're getting a little bit of it's getting a little more complex here. Okay. Still, I would look for this. And this, and we were looking for it up here. Now I'm looking for it here. Okay, and we can even trade it up to here, take some off. Okay, but I'm looking for buyers above this big green dot here, this liquidity here, and this green dot. Okay, here's another one. Let's take a look at this here. Right, so now we're trading into this liquidity at 09. Okay, this is another area. All right, so if we can get back up here at 10 and a half, I'm looking for our buyers here. Okay, it kept going down, it hit liquidity. Now I'm looking for our buyers right here, right now, because I see exhaustion here. Let's see if we can get them. Looking for these buyers to come in and then trade it back up into top of these little areas in here that we're looking at previously. Okay, so this is where we got to get our green dot here, 10 and a half. Okay, well, here they come. And it wasn't that big, but they came in really quickly. We want to lean on that player, right, of that big buyer here, and not all sorts of little buying. Okay, let's get our order book skew here. Let's see if we can get that. And now the risk reward is actually getting quite a bit better in here. We're getting a bit of a skew here. See that pulled? Here come our buyers. Okay, I'm looking for, now this is not a trade recommendation, okay, but I'm looking for our buyers here to trade it back up into 12 and then maybe 14. And I like the risk reward here, okay, because earlier we were looking for 12 up to 14 or 15 here. Now we're looking for 10 and a half on up to 14 and 15. 10.5. Here they come. Now let's see them just reach up to this 12 and a quarter here. Okay, pretty good buying. Order book is here. It's not the greatest in here, but there is some support here, some demand underneath. Okay, now again, buyers again. All right, looking for continuation on up to 12 and a quarter. Okay, not bad. Okay, now this up here is a question. Do you want to take, partial profit up here and protect your gains, or do you want to hold for 14 or 15? So that's kind of a personal, question, or you'll have to study it and see, how you want to deal with that. What was your risk reward? Is it worthy to take some off there at 12 and a quarter? Okay, now what do you have in here? Nothing's really changed. I mean, I don't see high liquidity in here. Okay, so in that sense, you could, reason that well, at the market structural range up at the top here, instead of taking profit like I usually do, I don't see high liquidity in here, so I'm still looking for a continuation. Right? You can move your stop to break even for sure at this point. No question about that. Okay, Kevin, good question in here about how to switch with the key command shortcuts. I'll show you that just a second here. Anonymous trader, you can play around with this a little bit in demo, like if you put 1,000 lot on here, or I mean, even that gets filled pretty quickly. Maybe try like a 10,000 lot, or I don't know. You'll see some of the behavior even in demo. The simulator in Bookmap is very good. Okay, so just make sure you're connected to demo, and you can kind of test some of these things. All right, so key commands. How am I drawing these really quickly instead of going to the drawing tools here? You can see I have key commands here, just one letter that I've put in here. So how you can do that is to go up into settings, keyboard shortcuts. Okay, go there, and then you'll see them here. This is for your instruments, and you can see font, zooming, etc. Instrument trading in here, so you can also have your key commands very quickly in here for your orders. You have your main menu bars in here. You also have your playback for rewind and slowing, and this is for your replay mode. Okay? And then finally, toolbars. This is the one here. Okay, here it is, drawing tools. It's in a sub folder. Okay, click on that, and then just you can add them in here. Right. So anyway, so like change drawing style. Let's just let's double click on it here, and it says add shortcut, and then you input your shortcut here. Okay, that's it. It works great. I mean, just make sure you know your key commands. All right, guys. Well, let's take a look again back at. We'll go through this whole process in here. And Deborah, like I'm gonna lean on you as a star player here. We looked at this whole thing in here, okay, and we're looking for this move up into about 14. And it's done it. Okay, top of the range here. And now to take profit up here or not. This is up to you. I still don't see high liquidity getting filled up here. It's up here at 15, okay, at 15 3/4. right? And I still see buying in here. I don't see a lot of selling here. So it's up to you about your risk management in here. Do you want to continue to hold this here? Or do you want to take some of your profits and then try to let the rest just run? Okay. However, that's the trade management part, and we'll get more into trade management as we go along here. But the most important thing is that we were going through what to lean on in here, okay, in the order flow. So first, we had our big picture here. We looked at the daily, the hourly, and the 15-minute chart. All right, and we determined that we're looking for continuation down into about our next level around 08-ish, something like that. And we're looking for like some buying in here. Now, why did we think that? Well, it's in here in the chart, the wicks, this move here on the way up. No, you didn't take profit too soon, Deborah, at 12 and 3/4. Well, first off, Deborah, I hope it was in demo. Okay, this is not a trading room. And these are just ideas in here to go through so you can become a much better trader. Okay, if you're using it as a trading room, you're not going to get much from it. In fact, it might be really frustrating. There'll be losses, there'll be gains. It won't be worth it. It really won't. But if you can take some of the ideas and then go back and study it, now it's well worth it. Okay, so let's cover it. These are some of the ideas. First, we looked at the bigger picture. Right, we covered the daily, the hourly, and the 15-minute chart. Where originally we're looking for that continuation move. Always demo. Okay, well, even demo, be careful in demo how you use your demo account. Right, you might just toil around in demo for years. And that's not good. Okay, what's really good instead is to go through this process that we're going through now. And then go and look at for again and again. Okay, and then look for where it might go and why. Okay, have your reasons. It's reasoning here. Okay, now we never know. You have to understand that, like, we never know. The market shifts all the time. It changes and shifts on a whim. Larger players, some politician or some Fed speaker or something, doesn't matter. Yeah, okay. Too much demo can mess with your head. Anyway, let's continue back with our process here. Right, so bigger picture, what we were looking for, continuation to the downside, and where. First was gap fill. We got that, and we're looking for actually some profit taking there. I was looking for it, and we didn't get much. Instead, we got continuation, our next level. Okay, now we're at our next level, and then what else did we have down at our level of interest? We know there's buyers down here. We can see this massive gap here. Okay, and we know there's a massive gap here as well, right? And there was buying wicks here, here, and here, like 3 hours, 4 hours basically on this hourly chart in here. That's pretty good, and we see the move to the upside. So we're still looking for some buying down here maybe, or at least some covering. Okay, so we got that on our side. We've also got our ATR move here. Okay, we've got a pretty big move to the downside. All right, and then now we're looking at high liquidity. Where are the buyers and sellers? Well, we know that the sellers are hitting into high liquidity and it's getting filled. Okay, and we know that. This is where Bookmap is really helpful. Here, 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 and here. And I'm not sure exactly what happened down here. Yeah, it got filled down here as well in both these areas. All right, and then we're looking for, well, if we're looking for a pullback, right? We were looking for it actually a little bit earlier. We're looking for a pullback, and it comes back up and retests the market structure here. Now, typically we look for here, we're looking for a low volume pullback and then continuation. Okay, but we didn't get that. we didn't get a low volume pullback. We got volume on the pullback, and we got 100% retracement of the move. Okay, so let's go through our list again. We have higher time frame. We have high liquidity getting filled. We have ATR, big moves, and we haven't gotten a big pullback yet. And then we have a low volume pullback, or looking for that pullback in here, but it's not on low volume, right? So, and then now we're looking for buyers at these areas in here. We saw it early on in here that we're looking for. And then we're looking for here, move up, here, potentially move up, and then here. And finally down in here, we got it. We see that we finally see the big green dot we were looking for, and we're looking for maybe taking some off here, taking some off here. Okay, but we know the liquidity was up here. Okay? And that was that. So again, when we align all of these confluences together, we're going to have much higher probability outcomes. Not always, but it should be higher probability. All right, so I'll end it on that. Guys, if you like this, please hit the like button. It's been a while since I've presented, so I'm just getting back on my feet in here, and happy to be back. And thanks for all the welcome and good wishes here. Let's see here, a few more questions and then we'll wrap it up. Yeah, you can also play around with it in replay mode, anonymous trader, in Bookmap and see. Yeah, I would definitely do that. You know, put 3,000 in replay mode and on the best. Now, just note that the way it works is very different. Obviously, if you put your 3,000 limit buy on the best offer, like it basically, you're providing liquidity at the best offer. However, the simulator is going to rely on, you know, the market, the orders in the market, in whatever it is, replay mode or not, doesn't matter. It's going to rely on those. Okay, so you're not actually moving the market. Anyway, it's that's just note that. But anyway, let's think that answers your question. Sure what to unfold now. Yeah, we never know. I mean, like, you know, how many times does it happen that like everything looks so good? I mean, we've seen it so many times in here. Everything looks so good, and then some larger player comes in here and just whacks the market, just whacks it. You know, it just knocks it all down. It changes the whole dynamic. And then not only do they do it once, they'll come in and do it twice and 3 times, and they're just slapping the market and saying like, no, get in line. This is where we're going. And it might be shorter term, it might be longer term, but you know, we have to be aware of that, and we have to prepare for that and handle it, okay? Because we are small players. Oh, where do you get access to the simulator? Just replay mode. Just record when you start up Bookmap. Make sure that you check the box to record your data, and then when you start at the end of the day, you know, you stop Bookmap, restart it, and then select replay mode and add that file. They're naughty. They are Tom Gun. They're very naughty, and it happens all the time. I mean, well, frequently. But you know, that said, you know, frequently enough, this happens. So we understand the players, we understand the order flow, and now that gives us our edge. They don't come in and, I mean, that happens every now and then, that the larger player would disrupt the market that much, or larger players, or something happens. We don't know. Anyway. All right, guys. Yeah, thanks. Hit the like button. Like I said, that really helps us and helps me get back on our feet here and these webinars since I was away for so long. That'd be great. Let's see here. Stan, you're welcome. Rob, everybody. Trader Pete, nice to see you. Yeah, everybody else. Let's see. I didn't answer. Did I answer all the questions here? Discord, guys. If you want, come to our Discord channel and check that out. A lot going on over there. Really good information, and we have some really great traders and moderators in there. Yeah, I encourage you. Other than that, yeah, check out that competition. Just go to bookmap.com and you'll see the competition. All right. Thanks, everybody, and have a good weekend, and we'll catch up on Monday. All right. Yep. Take care. Bye-bye.